that all that Christmas is love. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Clinton Antique Mall in Clinton. Open 10 till 5 daily. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The levy in Farmer City is officially set for financial year 26. City Administrator Taylor Baxter indicated at the recent Farmer City City Council meeting that the council worked through its levy for the upcoming fiscal year, with the city under a 105% increase from the previous year. There was no hearing, and the levy passed earlier this month.
One of the larger ones that we worked through was the tax levy. So every municipality goes through this, and it's just part of the standard procedure as far as taxing bodies go. So Farmer City is no different. We went through that, and this was really just a pretty standard process for us. We looked at, for those that don't know, the cities in which you live, they on your property tax bill, you're going to see the city line item on there, and this is the process to get to that number. So each property is assessed, and more than likely your property taxes will increase every year just because the value increases every year. So we have a couple of different areas where the city of Farmer City looks at as far as where those property taxes can be allocated. And by state law, they have to be allocated in these areas. So some of them have max rates that we look at. Other ones we're able to be a little bit more flexible. But the overall arching theme is if you go above 105% of the tax levy from the previous year, you have to have what's called a truth in taxation hearing. And so that basically just holds the city accountable. Hey, these are where my tax dollars are getting spent. Public comment is needed. But if you don't go above that 105%, it's pretty standard, we're not going above and beyond what we did in the previous year. So that's where Farmer City was at. We were under that 105%.
There was a slight increase in the levy this year. Baxter also points out that the budget for Farmer City is in good shape.
Last year, we received $515,000. What we are proposing in 2026 is $535,292.02. So we had an increase of $23,755. So yeah, it's pretty standard. There's nothing too crazy with this. We have different categories, like I said, that these have to go to, and budget's in good shape. Yeah, we're 60. I just sent our financial report to our department heads and council yesterday, so that's perfect timing. We're 60% of the way through our budget, and yeah, we're in really good shape. We had our audit not too long ago from the previous year. Yeah, things are going really well in Farmer City. We're very well funded. Our department heads have done a great job of staying within their budgets, and when stuff comes up, which it does every year, they've done a great job of communicating with me and trying to put all these pieces in the puzzle. It makes it a little easier when we're doing things the right way.
For Baxter, the downtown is the focus of a lot of financial investment for the city, both recently and looking forward.
And I keep hitting on this. I really do think that we are going to be looking, and this is something I'm going to work with the mayor and council on, of the downtown streetscape study and design. With Farmer City, we have a really, really unique downtown, and we have a nice little downtown square that people drive around, but it's a park. But yeah, we need to upgrade not only just safety, because some of those side roads when you're coming into downtown, it makes it really hard just visibility wise. So safety is a concern, but then also just the overall beautification of our downtown. There's things that we can control, and that is certainly something with crosswalks, with planners, with all sorts of things. We can make it look a little bit better. So those are some things I've received from multiple council members and the public on of how can we make this a little bit better. So we need some help in designing that and planning for it. Yeah, I think that's a big one on our agenda for next year from what gathered.
Visit the Farmer City Facebook page to keep up with all the happenings in the community. Another La Nina winter is setting up over the Midwest. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln indicates central Illinois has equal chances for above or below normal temperatures for January through March. However, a colder than normal signal is not far to the north and west.
Well, it's showing equal chances for temperatures above or below normal, but there's colder than normal just to our northwest, which is a typical La Nina kind of pattern. And then above normal precip signal all the way through, the January, February, March, and that's the 40 to 50th percentile. So it's showing, that we're going to have a lot of moisture available in the atmosphere, and how it hits the ground is going to be kind of variable. There's going to be a flux in there, but we're seeing some cold snaps. Potential is there. The cold air is building in the upper latitudes of Canada and the Northwest Territories. As that jet stream just allows a little bit of a buckle, we're going to see some cold snaps, probably some impactful snow is going to be a part of that above normal precip in the mid-January to early February timeframe, it looks like.
According to Shimon, when we do see wintry weather roll through Illinois, Peoria to Bloomington to Champaign will likely be in what he calls the battleground area. Well, it will depend on how the storm tracks if we see snow, freezing rain, or rain.
Yeah, just the way the jet stream is potentially going to set up, we're going to be on that battleground. Snow in Champaign and Bloomington, but freezing rain, sleet in DeWitt, and then rain for Sangamon kind of thing. Something that we have to just figure out where that line's going to fall. But we average about 5 freezing rain days a year, which is a lot. I mean, that's the most in the whole nation. We're right across the bullseye of freezing rain in the United States. Expect us to have a few of those days mixed in for sure. How impactful they become depends on if it falls on a dry, cold pavement, then you turn it into a skating rink. If it falls after you've got a snowfall of 2 to 3 inches and then it changes to freezing rain, a different impact there. But certainly freezing rain can cause a lot of accidents if it falls on that really dry, cold pavement. The amount of cold air we're seeing building up, and that the fact that the polar vortex is a little bit weaker, so there's a waviness in the jet stream setting up. So we could see some air temperatures down in -5, -10 with wind chills, maybe in wind chill warning criteria of -25.
For those who spend their winters in places like Arizona, Texas, and Florida, Shimon says that stretch of the country is looking at above normal temperatures and below normal precipitation in the outlook. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWitt County's #1 source for news. It's DeWittDailyNews.com.
No Christmas season, Jason France, State Farm Insurance Agent in Clinton, sincerely believes is complete without recognition of those who make each succeeding Christmas more of a success than the one before, their customers. They hope that happiness finds you and that your day is filled with all good things Christmas brings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Jason France, State Farm Insurance Agent, located at 602 West Side of the Square in Clinton. Sincere good wishes for the holiday season and the new year are yours from Waits Dry Cleaners in Decatur and Forsyth. The staff and management hopes you had a great year and that your holidays will be filled with the blessings this season brings. They wish you happiness this holiday season and throughout the coming year. Merry Christmas greetings and Happy New Year wishes from Waits Dry Cleaners. With locations to serve you in Decatur and Forsyth, they exceed your expectations.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
If you're dreading the leaf raking and snow shoveling, Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth is half the cost of most independent living options and maintenance free. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, Monticello overcame a slow start and rolled to a 59-41 win over Arthur-Lovington-Atwood-Hammond in non-conference high school boys basketball action Tuesday night at the Seaver Center in Monticello. The Sages outscored ALAH 33-10 in the middle frames after leading 11-10 after the first quarter. Matthias Rudolph finished with 17 points and 7 rebounds to lead the Sages, who had 42 of their 59 points in the paint. After going 4 for 14 from the floor in the first quarter, Monticello finished the game going 19 for 39 the rest of the way. The Sages turned 15 Knights turnovers into 15 points and had 17 offensive rebounds, which turned into 16 points. Gus Rappert finished with 13 points. State Bank of Bement player of the game, Jake Mostgood, had 8 points, 6 boards, and 3 assists. Monticello ended with a 39-29 rebounding advantage and held ALAH to just 35% shooting. Arthur-Lovington-Atwood-Hammond drops to 1-7 overall. Monticello is 4-1. They host Sullivan on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Hear the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Cannon Grubb scored a career-best 24 points, and Cabron Lee added 29 points, leading Maroa-Forsyth over Rantoul 69-56 in non-conference high school boys basketball action from Rantoul on Tuesday. Grubb scored all 24 from beyond the arc, sinking 5 threes in the first half. Lee scored 18 of his 29 points in the second half for the Trojans. 4 players scored in double figures for the Eagles. Jonathan Couture scored 12 of his team best 14 in the second half. Ishan Ottman scored 12 points, and Levi Dutzman and Spencer Stockwell each scored 11 points. Maroa-Forsyth improves to 4-2 overall. They host Warrensburg Latham on Friday night. Carter Logue scored 28 points, and Jackson Finch added 20 points, and Argenta-Oreana rallied to an 85-60 win over Meridian in non-conference high school boys basketball action on Tuesday in Macon. Cameron Stokes added 11 points for the Bombers, who turned a 17-15 first-quarter deficit into a 40-25 halftime lead. Bryce Brown scored 28 points to lead the Hawks. Ted Jones scored 14 points, and Jonas Henderson chipped in with 12 points. Meridian drops to 0-6, while Argenta-Oreana improves to 4-7. 4 players scored in double figures, and Monticello rolled past Arthur-Lovington-Atwood-Hammond 64-33 in non-conference high school girls basketball action Tuesday night at the Seaver Center. The girls' matchup was a part of a girls-boys varsity double dip. Sarah Cressip scored 15 points to lead all scorers for the Lady Sages. Lexi Leatherwood had a double-double with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Allie Widener and Maddie Melton each added 12 points for Monticello. Widener was a rebound shy of a double-double. The Lady Sages controlled the glass with a 45-25 edge and 19 points off 13 offensive rebounds. Monticello finished shooting 50% from the floor, thanks to 40 of its 64 points coming in the paint. Sophie Montz had 9 points to lead the Lady Knights. Arthur-Lovington-Atwood-Hammond falls to 1-9 overall. Monticello goes to 6-3. Illinois High School Association, or IHSA, member schools approved all 12 amendment proposals that appeared on the all-school ballot during the annual bylaw referendum process that concluded on December 15, 2025. The voting was independently certified on the morning of December 16th. There were several significant changes approved by the membership, including expansion of the IHSA football playoffs from 32 teams per class to 48 teams per class. increasing the number of total playoff qualifiers from 256 to 384. There are no changes to the number of playoff classes in football, which remains at 8. The season start date remains the same, August 10th in 2026, but the first regular season games will be played 1 week earlier, August 20th in 2026, eliminating the Week 0 scrimmage. In a statement Tuesday afternoon, IHSA Executive Director Craig Anderson said too often throughout the years, football decisions have negatively impacted other sports at IHSA schools. They are hopeful that this football playoff expansion will provide intended relief to schools by stabilizing conference movement and eliminating the difficulty of scheduling football games that many schools face each year. It may create some short-term complications for schools, conferences, and coaches, but they are optimistic it will create long-term stability in football and beyond. Other significant changes include the IHSA Board of Directors expanding from 11 elected members to 15, with 4 new seats being created specifically for superintendents or presidents. Cooperative sports teams made up of 3,500 students or more will no longer be eligible to compete for IHSA State Series Team Awards, while the IHSA's no-contact period in the summer will be moved from early August to the week of 4th of July beginning this summer. Over 90% of the IHSA's 802-member high schools took part in the 2025 voting process. Dakota Joshua battled in a rebound with 3 minutes and 1 second left, just 8 seconds after Austin Matthews tied it, and the Toronto Maple Leafs rallied past the Chicago Blackhawks for a 3-2 win on Tuesday night. Third period goals by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Matthews, and Joshua erased Toronto's 2-goal deficit and completed a wild comeback. Joseph Woll made 23 saves, and the Maple Leafs earned just their second victory this season after trailing after 2 periods. Wyatt Kaiser and Jason Dickinson, shorthanded, staked Chicago to a 2-0 lead in the first period. Spencer Knight stopped 24 shots in the loss. The Blackhawks were without third-year center Connor Bedard, who was placed on injured reserve Monday for at least 2 weeks because of an upper body injury. Bedard has a team-high 19 goals and 25 assists in 31 games. Without Bedard, Chicago focused on the basics of the game, breaking up Toronto's passes, getting bodies in front of Woll, and shooting through traffic. Teuvo Teravainen had a goal disallowed with 8 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first after a video replay ruled there was goaltender interference. The Blackhawks visit Montreal on Thursday. The Maple Leafs start a 3-game road trip at Washington on Thursday. Around the NCAA men's basketball scores from Tuesday night, Duke, who ranks number 3 in the country, beat Lipscomb 97-73. Number 9 Michigan State beat Toledo 92-69. Number 22 St. John beat DePaul 79-66. Number 20 Tennessee with an upset over number 11 Louisville 83-62. Number 12 UNC beat Eastern Tennessee 77-58. While number 19 Texas beat Northern Colorado 101-90. Number 5 UConn beat Butler 79-60, while the first overall ranked team in the country, Arizona, beat Abilene Christian 96-62. Number 14 Arkansas beat Queens College 108-80. Number 17 Kansas took down Towson 73-49. And 10th ranked BYU beat Pacific 93-57. Only one game in the NBA last night. The New York Knicks rallying to beat the San Antonio Spurs 124-113 and win the NBA Cup. In the NHL from Tuesday night, the Anaheim Ducks fell to the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-3. The Detroit Red Wings beat the New York Islanders 3-2. The Philadelphia Flyers took down the Montreal Canadiens 4-1. With the same score, the Boston Bruins beat the Utah Mammoth 4-1. The Vancouver Canucks shut out the New York Rangers 3-0, while the Edmonton Oilers beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-4. Minnesota with a big shutout over the Washington Capitals 5-0. The Calgary Flames fell to the San Jose Sharks 6-3, and the Colorado Avalanche beat the Seattle Kraken 5-3. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL Sports Wire on your preferred social media platform, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Over the years, Longview Community Bank has built up quite a business, and it's all thanks to you. Longview Community Bank feels that it is an appropriate time during this holiday season of peace on earth to thank all of you for your goodwill to them. Have a wonderful holiday from your friends at Longview Community Bank, with 3 convenient locations in DeWitt, Logan, and Ford counties. Your trusted partner in hometown banking. We are proud to continue investing in rural Illinois. Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to Fiber Fast Internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
With the stuff that's in the air that's causing many folks discomfort, the Warner Hospital and Health Services walk-in clinic inside our family medicine clinic is just the ticket. CEO Paul Skowron here. No appointment? No problem. Don't need one in our walk-in clinic. Come to the Warner Hospital walk-in clinic and get feeling better. Just another way we provide quality care close to home.
Warner Hospital and Health Services, your healthcare provider of choice.
In fields where weeds don't back down, farmers count on Liberty Ultra Herbicide by BASF. The Liberty Lock formulation delivers stronger coverage, improved uptake, and 20% better weed control. Results Colin Ryan in north central Iowa knows well.
The Liberty Lock formulation seems to really get down, penetrate into the weed, and the performance has been great.
That's Liberty Ultra Herbicide. Consistent, proven performance. Hear more Ultramonials at libertyultramonials.com. Always read and follow label directions.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump ordering a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers into and out of Venezuela. Mr. Trump accuses the Maduro regime of using oil to fund drug trafficking and other crimes. The president will look back and he'll look ahead when he delivers a primetime speech tonight to the American people. President Trump travels to Delaware today for the dignified transfer of the 2 National Guard members who were killed in Syria. They haven't found him yet. The manhunt goes on for the Brown University gunman. Police are asking the public to review new, slightly clearer images of the person they're looking for. Rob and Michelle Reiner's 32-year-old son, Nick, is going to be charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, the fatal stabbing of his parents. Nick Reiner's first court appearance is expected later in the day today. More details
from the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Ben Hubbard with this local news update. Another La Nina winter is setting up over the Midwest. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln indicates central Illinois has equal chances for above or below normal temperatures for January through March. However, a colder than normal signal is not far to the north and west.
Well, it's showing equal chances for temperatures above or below normal, but there's colder than normal just to our northwest, which is a typical La Nina kind of pattern. And then above normal precip signal all the way through, the January, February, March, and that's the 40 to 50th percentile. So it's showing, that we're going to have a lot of moisture available.